Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome to Cash Talks Football. This is where I use my over 20 plus years of coaching experience and break down goals and stuff in the Premier League. I'm starting to do more fouls and penalties, which I don't really want to do, but they seem to become predominant this season. I break down every single goal of every single team in the Premier League, and if you like what you hear, give us a like and a subscribe. Maybe you can use the information to become a better coach or a better player, or maybe just chat down a pub so you might know a little thing or two about the game of football more than your mates. Now, this goal is interesting here. This game is a complete mess, to be honest, but I'm going to highlight a point here, and this is one of the problems where people see something in football and then they react to it, and it's not what's going on. As soon as I start playing forward, it's going to make more sense. Watch this, right? As we go forward here, there's a little bit of a bundle of a ball here. Not bad. He's marked. It's Sheffield United look like they've got Newcastle under control. Pretty much everyone's okay. Yeah, this guy's on the back stick here, but he's got time to recover if the ball's played across. He really does. So we're not too worried. Nothing much is really happening. But let's play this on. Dosh goes, gets beaten, falls over. Now everyone panics and says the ball's out of play. Look, the hands go up. Look, hand goes up. And the reason they're doing this is because the exact same thing happened the other day at Manchester United, and the ball was out of play and the goal wasn't allowed. So what they've all done there is stop going, oh, we saw that on telly the other week. And they all think it's the exact same thing, and it's not. They're not reacting to the situation. They're reacting to what they think the situation is because they saw it previously last week. This happens all the time with footballers. Oh, 2 weeks ago the same thing happened to us. Well, no, it didn't. It was slightly different. And this is slightly different because the ball didn't go out of play. But they've all still reacted anyway. And that's why they concede this first goal. Bob goes in, smash, straight into the net box. He's switched off. All the defenders have switched off. Still got his hand up, and they're all still complaining. The problem is now, when players are doing this, the Premier League's got a huge problem with this. Now all these players are broken mentally because now they feel aggrieved by the referee. That shouldn't have been a goal. That shouldn't have been allowed. And it should have been a goal. And it should have been allowed. I'll show you in a second. But mentally they're done now. The team's over because they're not strong enough. You don't complain. You just get on with your job. Yeah, it's a goal. Yeah, keep going. They don't keep going. And you can see from this angle right here, the ball goes, bump, it stays in. It completely and utterly stays in. So he's right here marking him. But as soon as he sees that and he sees his defender complaining, he switches off, puts his hand up, and that's all it takes. Dumph. Now that space there, run straight in, goal, simple. He's too busy trying to mark the player, think about the... No, if he was just playing the game, he would have spotted that run and he would have been okay. Didn't. All complaining. They're completely mentally broken now within a couple of minutes of the game, and then it becomes a whitewash. One simple mistake. They're so mentally unprepared for this game of football. It's unbelievable. And you can tell because everyone is complaining about the ball going out. Right? It doesn't matter. I can remember teams I had, we don't celebrate goals. We don't celebrate it when they go in. We don't celebrate we just play football. We'll have a big cheer at the end. And it all depends on how mentally strong your team is, whether you can do that or not. These clowns aren't mentally strong for anything. Let's get on to this next goal and see what we can see. Here we go, another goal. You know exactly what I'm going to say if you watch this channel. There's no one on the back post. There needs to be. Why? Because the keeper's covering the front post, covering the front area. And remember, he's not playing Sunday League where he sits and hugs the post and goes, oh, I've got the post. No, he stands here because he wants to run forward here and clear this area of any danger. If the ball comes in this area, his starting position is on the line, so he can run forward and head the ball out. If he can run forward and head the ball out, then you know there's nothing behind him. And every time he hits the ball, it goes away from the goal. That's a clue. Instead of running it at the goal. There we go. Brilliant drawn by me. Let's watch this. Play it forward. And you'll see what I mean. As this ball comes across, boom. Right now, if you've got a player on the post, he sees that this guy's fouling him because he's not trying to play football. All of a sudden, you're coming out and you're making that challenge right there. And you're saving that goal. Bang. Easy. Easy. You're not stood on the post waiting for it to come to you. You're running out, clearing the ball, done. Look how bad this defender is, though. We're going to look at this from another angle because this defender's awful. He's got no intention of trying to play football. He's just trying to wrestle the guy. I've seen defenders a lot in my time do this, and what they do is they focus on the player and where he's running instead of just running to where the ball's going to be going. Watch what this defender does. Watch. He grabs hold of him, grabs hold of him, and he's too busy trying to wrestle him, and pull him back instead of just running forward. Just running forward and just heading the ball. He doesn't do any of that. He's just too busy trying to fight the player. Pull him back, fight the player. And you can see it in his legs movements in the wider angle where basically you can see he's trying to stop him on the ground by putting weight on his legs instead of just running forward and winning the ball. He doesn't. Terrible defending. Let's get on to the next goal. Now, as much as I was harping about being on the post and the corners, which I'm a firm believer of, if the keeper's in that front zone, you're taking it back and vice versa. Here from this free kick coming in, I'm not necessarily having anybody on the post, because if look how high, how deep that line is right there, right? If that ball's getting dropped where I put that line, this young man here needs to come and clear that ball out, because he's the goalkeeper and it's close enough. He's 2 yards off there, 2 yards. He can make up 4 yards. That's 2 paces. He can do that quite easily. And let's see what he does. Ball comes in. No, it's a little bit behind the line. Sorry, what I mean line, I mean behind the defensive line. No real good challenge on it. Now the team's broken. All broken. Look, they're all stood around looking at each other. Who was marking him? What was going on? Look at these guys. Everyone just stood. Their body language, they're broken. Let's get on to the next goal. As always on this channel, you know me. I go back and I go and find another little thing wrong. See this guy? Split between these two here. Okay. This is the problem. He is now marking him. Okay, that's those two there. This guy isn't doing anything, all right? Because the only thing he can, because he's got to really mark the zone in front of him. He's supposed to be marking the zone in front of him. So this guy here has now really got 2 players, because that's who he started marking, and this guy's running, and he hasn't made the adjustment, right? Do you see that? He goes back, that little step, he goes back to that guy there, where he should have been going with this guy here. He's got 2v1 on him, because he hasn't understood, because the player in front of him is now his responsibility. The player behind, he has to take responsibility for. He's trying to do both jobs, can't do it, and that's why he ends up getting beaten. Look, bump, done. Let's just watch that. He should have swapped him over, and he doesn't do it. There we go. Look, he's pointing. I got that guy there. I got that guy there. But he's looking at this man here. Do you see he's looking at this man? So's he. This is confusion. Look, bump. As for the confusion, straight away. Goes up, make a mess of it. Let's get on to the next goal. Right now, they're so open through the middle, though, Sheffield United. Like, look at this gap. Oh, my God. Look at this massive gap. Bump. That's a box there, and you want a player, Sheffield United player, stood in it about there. Probably one of these two. They're out here having a picnic with this guy, asking for his phone number and see if they can come over and play at Newcastle. And he's going, nah, mate, you're rubbish. We're not having you. So look at how much space that these two alone have. Right, him and him over here, let alone him. Like, watch this. So much space. Like, he's screaming for the ball. He's screaming for the ball. So much space, so much space. They don't know what to do. And here comes the panic. And this is, someone always panics because they don't know what they're doing. And he's the guy panicking. He's rushing out, rushing out. All of a sudden now, the ball's played in. Watch. Let's go back. Do you see how everyone's nice, tight here? We're quite happy with that. As soon as the guy panics, he opens up a space. Watch this. As he goes. Do you see him tracking with him? Right? As he's tracking, now he doesn't want to go any further. He needs to go back and mark this player. So he lets this player go. All right, as he goes off, he comes back in and he marks this man. He lets this player go to his mate over here, and that's perfect. Those two there, you there, we're all good. Watch what happens. Oh no, he panics like a muppet running for the ball. Why? God only knows. You've got a guy here, he can do something. You've got a guy who's close enough to track, but you sprinting from there, what happens now is this guy here, who he was originally marking, who he was kind of tracking, now he's going to run over and track that. And the other player he should be marking is completely and utterly free. Watch. Goes running back over to the space that this idiot just left. And this guy's like, well, I thought I had to make a run, but I just stood still, and the idiot defenders ran away from everyone, and now I'm completely and utterly unmarked in the box. Yeah, that's what happened. You saw it. He ran forward, making his mate having to go cover for him, and just leaving this massive space in the middle of the field. Simple, header, through the legs. That's under 9 stuff. I don't know why the centre-back is running out, pressuring a ball, making his other centre-back come across and cover, and leaving a big gap in the middle of the field. But that's what just happened. Let's get on to the next goal. I'm not sure what Sheffield United are thinking at this point. They're pushing a little bit too far forward. They're already, 3 or 4-0 down. You can't have this many people pushing forward and exposing your flank, especially when they're faster than you, which they are. All right, and all of a sudden, look, he's just screaming for the ball, wanting it into this space. He's not getting close. Right, this guy here has got 2 options. Get close, which I wouldn't recommend, because all he's going to do is pass the ball in behind you. But you know that. So what you're doing when you're getting close, you're kind of blocking his run. So you get close, because you're going to run back this way. So you're close to stop his run, because you want this guy to pass it in that space that you're going to make. And you're going to come and intercept the pass here, because you're going to block his run as you do it, right? You're going to get in front of him so he can't make that run. Or you go the other way, where you drop off, and you try to drop off as quick as possible. Okay, so when he does receive the ball, you can pressure him from the angle here, but your goal side. You've made a little button hook curve run, and you're coming and you're about to push him away over here. Let's see what he does. He just jogs flat. Do you see? If he ran, like put the effort in and ran, he would now have been here, and he's not. He would have been here, facing him, instead of here, facing that way. Completely different. 2 steps would have made that difference. He didn't do it. So then what happens is, he's facing away. Which way is he facing? He's facing all the way down here. So it's simple, absolutely simple for this guy. He's facing that way. All he wants to do is get in behind him, get behind his back, get in the zone behind his back to get a shot off. Does he do it? Yeah, he does. And that keeper is having a mare. That is awful, keeper. He's beating you from there with a shot that weak and low. Come on, that is awful. Everything there about that is just terrible. The defender's got his hands up, but I'm sure he was, at fault for one of the other 9 goals that they're going to concede in a minute. But let's get on to the next one, because there's a lot to cover. Do you remember earlier on when I was saying there was a massive gap in the middle and you can see it? Well, now you can see it even more, right? So right here, you can see that gap. You draw a square. The reason you draw that square is because if you draw a massive square like that, and there's no Sheffield United player in there, there's a problem. If you draw a massive square over here, and there's no Sheffield United problem, well, there is, but that's not so much of a problem because it's not in the middle of the field. Okay, and the real problem with that is you've got one line there, and then you've kind of got another line that's higgledy-piggledy. Right? Can you see that? And all he has to do is break this line and get the ball into this area here. That's all he has to do, and it's easy. Okay, these guys aren't doing anything. All right, so they're not protecting this back 4. They're not stood here because of this massive gap here. If you had 2 players here, one here and one here, it would be better than anything they're doing currently here, because they aren't pressuring the ball, they're not doing anything, and they're not protecting the back 4. So all they needed to do, one of these 4 players, one of them needed to be here, backing up this guy here. None of them are. None of them know what they're doing, and watch what happens. Immediately just picks him up, bump, round the corner, because that massive gap is still there. No one can pressure him. Oh, look at that idiot centre-back running out again. Oh, what a surprise. He's done that before. Guess what happened last time he did that? Oh, look. He doesn't know where he's going again. He sees his teammate running. He sees him running. He still sees him running. Doesn't get anywhere near him. And he just passes it in the goal. That guy shouldn't be playing professional football. Just shouldn't be doing it. He just doesn't have a clue what he's doing. Why is he running out and pressuring the ball? I get it because your midfielder's not doing it, but you tell them to do it. You don't make another mistake. If you're a player and you don't have that midfielder in front of you, you yell at him to come back. You don't go and make another mistake because he's making one. Don't think, oh my God, I'm going to be brilliant and do something fantastic. Nah, you're not. Just do your job. Tell him to come back and do his job. Don't try to do his job for him, because you'll be made to look foolish, and you're the one that will get blamed. And that's what's happened right here. Let's get on to the next goal, because there's so many. I could talk on this one for quite a while, but there's so many goals to go over. Yeah, let me get on to the next one. Well, I am going to go over this one a little bit more, because you can see how far he is in no man's land and how there's no one between these 2 players and the goal. Again, not only did he make his mistake by pressuring the ball, running over, but this guy here is a muppet as well. What he's gone and done is the same thing as last time. So this idiot's run away and done his stupid pressuring the thing. This clown here has run from over here and run over there to mark a player because he doesn't realise the ball was important. So he's opened up this track here. Okay, now, if he was here, they would have made the pass over here and he would have scored anyway. Yeah, fine, I get that. But at least he would have been doing his job. At least he would have gone, yeah, well, I was trying to hold my shape and do the right thing, but I was let down by my idiot teammate being over here. So let's play it forward. Buff. Look. See how much of a gap he leaves open for him? Bump. Dump. Easy. Absolutely easy. And then this clown goes and looks at his teammate like, it's your fault, mate. It's your fault. No, it's not. It's yours, you absolute muppet. Let's get on to the next goal. So here we go. This is basically because Sheffield United have done. If you've played in a Sunday League team and you're starting to get routed, people's heads go down and stuff like that happens all the time. And you can see that's happening right now in the Premier League. This pass here is so lazy. Look at this, Dush. So lazy, so casual, and he plays it back just. A lot of it is because he doesn't want the ball. He didn't want it in the first place. They passed it to him. He just doesn't want to be on the field, and that's what ends up happening. They go on a little run down here, but this goal is one of those things. And if you've been at the top of the, top of the league, you get goals like this. If you're at the bottom of the league, you have goals like this scored on you all the time. Your luck goes your way when you're winning, and it doesn't when you're losing, and that's all this is right here. goes into the box. To be fair, the defenders, given their credit, they hold him up. It does take two of them, but they do a good job. They hold him up. They're slowing him down. They're doing all right, but then just some sort of bundly ricochet thing, and this happens. It drops straight to the foot of the Newcastle player. Oh yeah, but we get a bit more luck because he does a block. He judges really hard, and then on the second one, it falls straight to the foot of another Newcastle player, and he just kicks it in the goal. Yeah. When your luck's out, your luck's out. And that's a classic example there of the two defenders trying hard, the other defender doing great, takes another ricochet, and it's in the net box. There we go. Don't worry, it's not over. Our favourite protagonist of today, our idiot defender who's running down the field, trying to tackle everybody for some reason and leaving his whole back foot. Look at this shape. I mean, like, what are you doing? You need to be here. What are you doing? You need to be here. Oh, none of your midfielders are doing their job. Look, you need to be back here. It's so bad. But here he is. He's tackling for the ball. Guess what? Shocker, he misses it again. Yeah, completely rubbish again. Dush. Oh, no, mate. You need a through ball? Don't worry. I'll help you out. And he headers the ball, trying to do something stupid. Oh, God. And he just runs in and kicks it into the box. Good little turn, to be fair. Duked up the defender and just scores another one. That's the last one. Oh, my God. I'm exhausted. Like and subscribe, guys. I'll see you next time.